As soon as the story went up on the Telegraph website yesterday in relation to Eli Katoa's future, I had a phone call from a manager straight away asking, what's the situation? Is Katoa gone? That manager was straight away thinking, potentially I could place one of my players down there. That's the magnet of the Melbourne Storm.
Yeah, Cam Murray's on over $1 million. Latrell's on over $1 million. The difference in Melbourne was it's always money spent in the spine. If you look at South, none of those players have been in the spine. And there's every chance Latrell's a centre next year because they've re-signed Jai Gray. Murray's a lock. Koloamatonga's the middle. That's the wrong way to spend your salary cap.
Welcome to the CODE NRL show. I'm Dave Riccio. With me as always is Brent Reid. Reedy, let's rip into it. Reedy, clearly some sombre news came through yesterday in relation to Melbourne Storm and Tongan forward Eli Katoa. Quite extraordinary. I find this story unbelievable that the reigning Dally M back row of the year, with the absolute world at his feet, at the peak of his powers, his season is already over as far as 2026 is concerned, and his career is obviously in jeopardy. It's astonishing, and it's a case of where the Melbourne Storm go from here, and I say that respectfully, allowing Eli Katoa to go through his own recovery process.
Haven't had an off-season, Melbourne.
Yeah.
Pap's gone, Nelson gone, now you've got Eli basically gone for 26, and who knows beyond that, right?
Jonah Pezzett as well.
Jonah Pezzett gone as well, so they've had an amazing off-season in Melbourne. We spoke about it before on this podcast about what they've gone through. Dave, it's really hard to know what they do next because you know they're going to have money to spend. They'll get cap dispensation for Eli for at least next season. You're looking at $600,000-700,000. But there's not a lot of back rowers just sitting out there on the market waiting to be signed. And then you look at what they've got coming off at the end of next year: Wishart, Warbrick, Blore, Meaney. And my understanding is Perth are coming in hard for Wishart. Blore's asking big money, and I wonder now whether Melbourne have almost got to pay it.
Come to the party.
Yeah. I think Nick Meaney will probably end up staying, but there's interest in Nick Meaney as well. And Warbrick, again, there's interest in him. So they're going through a really difficult stage, but you know what? There's any club in the league. Yeah. Any club in the league, you go, well, they'll find a way out of this. Yeah. It's Melbourne. Yeah. And this is a club that lost an entire season to a salary cap scandal. Yeah. 15 years ago, whatever it was. So they'll find a way out of it, but geez, it's hard to see the way out of it at the moment.
Reedy, I will say this. As soon as the story went up on the Telegraph website yesterday in relation to Eli Katoa's future, I had a phone call from a manager straight away asking, what's the situation? Yeah. Is this real? Is Katoa gone? That manager was straight away thinking, potentially I could place one of my players down there.
Well, and this, I reckon I might know it is.
And this is, but that's the magnet of the Melbourne Storm.
Yeah, of course. I mean, still got Craig Bellamy down there, Frank Panissi, Matt Tripp's obviously the majority owner. They're all smart men who've been in the game a long time, got a lot of respect in rugby league. And, it's an attractive club because, even though they've had their setbacks this off-season, they're going to be in the mix. That spine is still Sua Farlongo, Cameron Munster, Jerome Hughes, Harry Grant. Yeah. And Harry's about to do a new deal down there. So it's still that when you look at that spine, and they're still going to have Stefano, they're still going to have, as I said, Blore for at least another 12 months.
David
They're still going to have Coates. They've still got Meaney. They've still
Warbrick.
got, there's still a gun. That's still a gun team that's played in the grand final this year. Yeah. And if they can just find a couple of guys to fill in the cracks, they'll be in contention again next year. Yeah.
Hey, Reedy, you know how every Friday night I give you a buzz just to check in on you, make sure what are you having for dinner? What's
pizza night, pasta Friday night. I'm very regimented, mate.
But that's every second week because every other week it's Wagyu beef night.
Oh, no, that's Saturday day.
Saturday night, right?
Saturday's Wagyu beef night.
Now, you are not paying $49 for Wagyu. I know, mate, how deep your pockets are, right?
It gets close.
Yeah.
One steak.
Do you know what is $49 currently? CODE subscription, and you get everything. Reed, man, all the scoops, all the features, all the video, everything.
My oldest son's gonna be devastated because I'm not going the Wagyu steak this week. I'm getting the CODE subscription.
12 months, $49, and it's cheaper than Wagyu steak. And don't forget the links in the description. Just one really quickly, question, not one question, but it's a consistent question fans are asking is, with Katoa now out of the picture as far as the roster is concerned, does that now make the Melbourne Storm's pursuit of Tino Asofa-Solomona even greater?
Well, I mean, they were looking at him at the end of next year anyway. So in the short term, that dispensation for next year, I mean, you can pay guys forward and free up money the year after potentially. It probably strengthens it, their case to get him, but they're in the market for him anyway, I suspect. And look, I mean, we've said it before, they went close to getting him last time he came off contract. And Tino wants to win, right? Yep. Tino's made that very clear. He wants to win. He's got till, I think, September next year to enact the option, his deal, for 27. So he's got time on his side, but I'm sure the Gold Coast and Melbourne, every other club that's having a lash at Tino, and there's a lot of clubs having a lash at Tino, they're going to want to know well before September, because you can't afford to keep that sort of money just in your salary cap until September. I mean, he's on over 1.2 in 27. So it probably does give them a little bit more strength, Melbourne, in terms of chasing Tino. See what happens.
Reedy, the big news at the start of the week was the Parramatta Eels and the mutual agreement to release Zach Lomax from their roster. What's that? That's
1 year?
No, what's that? Two clubs in 2 seasons.
Yeah.
For Zach Lomax. Now, straight away, Eels fans want to know what do we do now? Like, do we cover Zach Lomax, or do we use that money, roughly around $700,000, to potentially go and get Nelson Asofa-Solomona? Big Nelson is a real big talking point among fans, where he lands. I've got to say, I'm not sure yet. And I don't know if Nelson's sure yet. But what I do know is that certainly he has a relationship with Eels coach Jason Riles. And absolutely, they've got some money to pick him up. Yeah. It's just a matter of when and how and if it works.
And he's not going to cost you the earth, Nelson, because he's got a payout from Melbourne. He's going to have a fight.
Yep.
I believe he's going to have a fight.
He's interested
so
in
he'll earn
boxing.
some money boxing potentially. So he might come and join you in
late January,
right? So that's already, November, December, January, 3 months off the year's contract, because players get paid from November 1 to October 31. So he's not going to cost you the earth. And obviously there's that relationship there, as you mentioned, with Rolsey. And they're in the market for middles. I mean, they're in the market for Keon Kolamatangi. They've gone big for Keon.
Yeah.
So they want to strengthen their middles. They'll probably re-sign Junior Polo by the looks of it. Nelson will be a handy addition for them if he doesn't cost you the earth. I mean, the problem in Melbourne, right, was they were paying him. He was on over 800 in Melbourne, and they weren't really getting their money's worth out of him. He just let them down consistently in recent years by getting suspended and just not aiming up, I guess. But if you're paying 300 for him, it's worth a risk.
That's interesting. I agree with what you said, because talking to Storm officials, it was exactly that. It was only the fact that they weren't getting the return on investment at 800,000, to the point of which he didn't fall out of favour with Craig Bellamy, and it was pointed out to me that had he been,
I think Craig fell in and out of love with Nelson.
Had he been available for the GF, Craig would have picked him.
Yeah,
because he's that big, different body shape.
Yeah.
That causes damage to the defensive line. So I'm with you. It's about what you pay him. And I'd pick him up for 300 for sure.
Yeah, he's worth the risk at
for sure.
300-400 grand for Nelson. I mean, he is. If you can get him fit, and the big issue with Nelson is getting him fit, right? If you can get him fit, and if you get 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 30 minutes out of him coming off the bench, man, he is an impact player.
Yeah.
He can do some damage.
Yep. The key to all this is, Reedy, is the Parramatta Eels' pursuit also of Keon Kolamatangi from the South Sydney Rabbitohs. I still feel like this one's got a little bit more to play out.
Yeah, well, he's on holidays at the moment, I think, so I don't imagine we'll find anything out soon. But they're, as we've spoken about, they're red hot on Keon.
Yeah,
and he's obviously going to be. He's going to earn a lot of money. He's on big money now, over 900 now. He's going to get over $1 million probably in that next deal.
You reckon he's worth over $1 million?
Well, you know what, Dave? We get those benchmarking stats every year, right, for what every position is paid. And the top 5 middles in the game, on the current salary cap, their average wage is about 950 grand.
Wow.
So you imagine the cap's going to go up in 2028.
With a new broadcast deal?
At least probably, I think they expect it to go up at least 15-20%. So chuck another 15-20% on that. That means your average top 5 middle is going to be about 1.1 million.
Yeah, wow.
He's nudging the top 5. He's a good player coming off this year, so he's probably you're worth what the market pays you, Dave, and he's going to get $1 million.
I'll ask you this. My point of view is that he's more valuable to South Sydney, more important to South Sydney than the Parramatta Eels? The Bunnies are down on troops as far as pack power is concerned.
Yeah.
And Keon, I don't think they can afford to lose. You have to be smart. They have to be smart. They've got in trouble previously going too heavy, too deep with players. But I don't know if they can afford to lose Keon.
You think about South's roster, right? I don't know how many $1 million players you can have on your salary cap. In 28, you can probably have a few more because, as we said, the cap's going to go up. But Cam Murray's on over $1 million. Latrell's on over $1 million. You know, 3 players on over $1 million. You really, you're really top heavy there.
Yeah,
It's the Melbourne system, right? We invest a lot of money in a handful of key players. The difference in Melbourne was it's always money spent in the spine.
That's right.
If you look at South,
pack
potentially none of those players have been in the spine. And there's every chance Latrell's a centre next year because they've re-signed Jai Gray. Murray's a lock, and Kolomatonga's the middle. And I'd argue that that's probably that's the wrong way to spend your salary cap.
Reedy, a little bit of news up north as far as Townsville is concerned with one of their gun players. I love watching this guy play, Scotty Drinkwater. A little bit of murmurs, and it's been around the game for a couple of months now, but it's just started to make its way into the headlines that Scott Drinkwater's future beyond his current deal isn't secure. And when you hear that, that means that there might be some leverage or some mediation potentially of maybe Scotty getting out of that contract at the Cowboys earlier than what it actually runs for. What do you think of this one from the Cowboys?
I'll tell you what I think, Dave. If I'm the Dragons, I'm picking up the phone and I'm making a call.
Red V.
Because I think, we've said they should have chased Paps. They need a fullback because Gutho's getting older and slower. No disrespect to the great Gutho, the king.
He just won the King of the Hill.
Yeah, did he?
Up Mount.
Gutho won it.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he's not fit.
Mount Kira.
He's always been he's always been fit and a machine, but the game's about speed these days. And, Gutho lacks a little bit of that these days. I mean, he was great for the Dragons last year. Yeah. But Drinkwater, as you said, he's an X factor. He's dynamic, and he's 28, so you want to get in now and get him before he's running on old legs. I mean, it's interesting at the Cowboys because there has been a whisper going around that young Jackson Purdue,
what a talent,
mate. There's been a bit of talk that because obviously they had to look at Jonah Pezzett, and they've got Tommy Dearden there, so they're obviously going to play Pezzett and Dearden in the halves. So there's been a bit of talk maybe they'll look at Jackson Purdue as a fullback. Yeah, and so. That's intriguing, the Drinkwater mail, the whisper. But if I'm the Dragons, pick up the phone, make a call.
Just talking about Scotty Drinkwater, Reedy, and it got me thinking, what about the Perth Bears?
I hadn't thought about that, Dave.
Well, not only Drinkwater, but so too everything about the Bears roster. What's doing?
They've got offers out there. They're out there, Dave.
Clock's ticking, mate.
They're in the marketplace. They're having a red hot go at Jaden Campbell, Harry Grant. You know what? They should call Scott Drinkwater and make a call to Scotty Drinkwater because they can land him again. There's a guy who can be a difference maker for them, and he's a spine player, which is really important for them. There's been talks about Matty Burton as well. The Burton rumour is still doing the rounds. Now, my understanding is Cameron Sorrell doesn't want to lose Matt Burton. But if Mitch Woods comes through next year, which a lot of people expect him to, and Galvin's playing the halves with him, I'm not sure Matt Burton's going to want to go and sit in the centres for the next 2 years. So I wouldn't rule out the Burton thing rearing its head again at some stage next year. But if I'm, don't worry about Perth in the market.
I am worried.
Why are you worried, Dave?
Because this is the new franchise.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Does it? Does it? So while every other club are re-signing their roster, making remembering too. The current club is always in the box seat to retain the player. So Perth actually have to work harder.
They're working hard, Dave. It's a misnomer that they're not out in the marketplace trying to sign players. And they're throwing big money around.
Give us some names.
Well, as we said, look, I don't think they're going to get
Nick
them.
Meaney's a name I heard.
Nick Meaney's another one.
Cam McInnes.
Yeah, Scotty Sorensen. But I think you want to fill your spine.
Liam Henry.
They want to get the spine right? So... That's why Drinkwater...
Well, Munster knocking them back doesn't help.
And Harry, I believe, is going to, as we said, knock them back. And looks like Jaden Campbell might knock them back as well. So they're not yes, they've missed some targets there, but that's why Drinkwater intrigues me a bit with Perth, because he'd be a great player to sign to your spine. And Scotty's 20, I think I just looked up, 28, right? So he's at a point in his career where maybe he's been on good money, but he can go to Perth and get really good money.
Yeah.
And I mentioned the Dragons, but excuse me, like Drinkwater's he's a really good player, but you wouldn't say he's.
No, he hasn't reached
elite.
No,
right?
he hasn't reached Origin level.
But he could potentially go to Perth, be a foundation player there, and earn a lot of money.
Yep.
That's I would imagine that's tempting for him.
Yeah. Reedy, what about Raiders CEO Donny Ferner?
Yeah,
he's just gone and got the baseball bats out. He went and got the ones from Vegas that he used, and it's just gone whack at the Broncos.
I've had a theory.
He's not happy.
I've had a theory about this, Dave, because what Donny's saying is Brisbane get 14 home games a year or whatever, because they get their 12 home games and they get to play as an away team at Suncorp. You know what? Donny should pick up the phone and ring all the other CEOs and say, you know what, next year, none of us say it's our home game. Let's make Brisbane play one of their home games at Suncorp. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's like a protest.
Yeah, if you're that upset about it.
Wow.
And actually force Brisbane into being one of the home teams.
You want Donny Ferner to start marching the streets?
Yes, placards out. It's a rort.
Because that's the only way you're saying.
Because the issue is it's so financially lucrative for teams to take home games.
Yeah.
To play home games in Magic Round. Because they get paid they get guaranteed an amount of money to take their home game there by the NRL.
Yeah, so they average, you'd probably think you'd work it out and call it that you get a 30,000 gate from if you take your home game, i.e. Tigers or Sharks or Manly, and you claim a Suncorp Stadium home game at Magic Round, you're looking at a 25,000 to 30,000 gate, of which you wouldn't get back at your regular home.
And again, you're like guaranteed an amount of money, is my understanding. So you might have a home game that weekend and might bucket down. Half the people don't show up.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about any of that sort of stuff.
Yep.
So that's why it's so tempting for teams to play their home game up there. And Brisbane obviously benefit from that because they get another game at Suncorp Stadium that's not their home game.
Yeah, so it is unfair.
Well,
Donny's right.
There's no doubt it works in Brisbane's favour.
Absolutely. So it's unfair.
Yeah.
As a Broncos fan, it's okay to say it's unfair.
Well,
it is. Yeah, Don's right.
Yeah, but clubs have got the dollar signs in their eyes.
So
if they're so worried about it, if all the other clubs are so worried about it, as I said, they should do a deal where how many teams we got? 17, 8 home games. So there should be six of them should say we'll have 7 of them say we'll have home games at Suncorp Stadium, and every other club should say no, Broncos are going to play their home game there.
Yeah.
If it's such a concern, but it's not, mate, because they want the cash. This is the problem, the almighty dollar.
So
greed is good, Dave.
Who should Donny ring? Which CEOs? Who's his best relationships?
Oh, Donny gets on with everyone.
He's the longest serving. Is he the longest serving NRL club CEO in the game? I'm pretty sure he is.
He's a good man, Don.
Yeah, Richo.
Yeah, but they got dudded a bit.
Solly.
They got dudded a bit this year, didn't they? Because they got overlooked for Magic Round, didn't they?
Yes. Well, that's right. In the future,
which is astonishing because they had
minor premiers.
Their game at Suncorp against Melbourne was one of the great Magic Round games of all time last year. This year. So I can understand why Donny's a bit frustrated.
I can understand why a lot of fans are frustrated
and
with the draw that the Broncos get.
Donny's also probably got in his liver after they lost to them at GIA this year.
That is still burning Canberra.
Yeah. So there's a bit of bad blood there. Yeah. I love a bit of bad blood. So, look, as I said, Donny, get in the phone, ring all the other CEOs, and let's rally to the course. If you're that worried about it, otherwise, go the Broncos.